If you're a new or beginner runner and you're struggling with fueling your runs, then here's a few things you need to know. Starting off with how to manage your pooping. Because yeah, it kind of sucks having to figure out where to drop the Browns off at the Super Bowl before or during a morning run. So what I do is the poop loop, and I just run a half mile or a mile loop in my neighborhood. So I either stop at the disc golf course right over here and I make a deposit at the plastic bank, or I just do a loop right back home, launch a torpedo in my bathroom, and then I head out for the rest of my run. That way I never have to hope the park bathroom is open because I'm planning on going right back home. But I am way overdressed, so let's finish up this run, get into the office, and I'll walk you through some fueling ideas. Okay, so poop loop, super helpful, am I right? But let's talk about fueling your runs, because it gets so complicated. And if you joke about, the joke's like, oh, running is so cheap, you just go out and run. But then you start to think about I should fuel better. You're going further, and it gets complicated and expensive real fast. So let's simplify it and make it cheaper. I've got some stuff here I want to talk about. And let's just start with before running. What should you eat before running? And yes, you should, I would say, probably most of the time eat before running, unless I'm going out early in the morning for a half hour, maybe an hour, easy. I might not run. I might bring something just in case I get hungry, but I might not. But I'm always drinking at least 10 ounces of water right away in the morning as soon as I get up before I have any coffee. So I'm hydrating with water and then coffee, and I may or may not eat. If I'm doing something long or hard for my running, I will eat, I will fuel that run. So when we're talking about before running, often people say oh, how long should I eat before running? I don't know. 0 minutes is fine. We eat. I've had miso soup while running. I've eaten Dairy Queen French fries while running. You don't have to give yourself an hour before runs. If you feel like you're getting sick, you have stomach issues when you eat and then run, you might just be eating too much or running too hard, or a combo of the both. Side stitches, like that, when you feel like you've got somebody stabbing you with a knife right here while you're running, it's often due to you ate or you drank too much, so you have too much something in your stomach, and or you're just running too hard. Now, ideally, it would be nice to have 200 to 400 calories, 30 minutes, plus or minus 30 minutes before your run. Drinking water, probably some coffee maybe as well during this time. What you take in, the actual food, can be anything. I have literally just eaten a slice of Dave's Killer Bread during the first mile, or I've got an apple tree a quarter mile away. Sometimes my breakfast will just be a couple apples off that apple tree during my run. But the go-tos like oatmeal, bagels, all great options. I actually like cream of rice recently because it has very little, if any, fiber. Now, this is a big deal, people, because yes, you can go and you can run for 2 hours, 3 hours, and take in 100 calories. Actually, fun fact, decades ago, it used to be frowned upon and looked at as a sign of weakness if you had to eat or drink while running. But when you're doing hard workouts or long runs, keep in mind that you're not only training the legs, training the mind, you're also training the gut. And if you're preparing for a half or a full marathon or something longer, you are doing yourself a disservice. You're doing your family, who, you're investing time and money away from them, travel, all this gear, blood, sweat, and chafing, all of this, and you're under fueling. What are you doing? Come on. So during, let's say, long runs, for example, and this is maybe true for anything even 60 to 90 minutes, that's like a tempo, some hill workouts, something like that, shoot for at least 200 cals per hour. And again, it could be Uncrustables. I lived off Lara bars while training for Boston, and the nice thing about the Lara bars is it's a half a bar every half hour, 200 calories, easy. I actually had a bagel in my side pocket of my running tights yesterday. When they're in season, I'm picking pears and apples off the trees. The nice thing about running with Quincy in the stroller is I can pick pears and apples and I can put them in the stroller and we both just eat them during my long runs. Now, how to store these things. So a couple options, and you can do the ultra processed stuff like this. I do these during races, and in the month before like a half or a full marathon, I'll bring stuff like this into my long runs a little more. But for the most part, like I said, there are better options. I'll put maple syrup in this. This will hold, I think, about 300 calories of maple syrup. There's a couple brands out there. They will literally put maple syrup in gel pouches and sell it to you for like double or triple the price. And I'm not talking like that Aunt Jemima crap. We're talking like real maple syrup here. But you can do that in just right here, just like by itself. Or you could put maple syrup and salt and with water in this, and you've got like just a sports drink, kind of, but it does the job. It's fine. Or I kept one or two of those reusable baby food pouches from when Quincy was a baby, and I'll put applesauce, maple syrup, and salt in that, and that works great. Now, get a vest. Seriously, this is something I bought during COVID when the marathon I was training for said we're having like minimal no aid stations. And so I bought a vest, and gosh, I wish I would have purchased this so much sooner. It's so awesome. I spent years running with a handheld, usually a larger handheld, but I would ration the water, take a sip every mile. I would have to find a water fountain. No more, people, no more. With this bad boy, I can have the half liter up front. I can have a full liter in the back if I want. It's so nice to have as much water, as much calories as you want, and you don't have to ration what you're taking, what you're bringing with. You've got your pocket for your phone, your bagels, whatever you want. So please get a vest. Just go to a local outdoor store, REI, a local running store, try one on and buy the one that feels the most comfortable for you. So 200 calories per hour. Now I will say that with the ultra processed gels, chews are really nice, like the gummies. What I'll do with those is I'll kind of bite them and just suck on them like that in the back of my cheek. Something I've also done that I really liked for my marathons, and during my marathons, I've done 300 plus calories per hour, like during Boston, during the last, I think, 3 marathons I've done. And that is really only possible with some of this stuff. Like it's harder to take in 300 calories of like solid food. You want, the nice thing about a lot of the high calorie like Science and Sport, Beta, the Martin, is that they use different types of carbs. And so they're processed in your body better than if you were just like eating a banana or 3 bananas for an hour for 300 calories. But like think about like a Lara bar, 300 calories. If you're doing like a long trail run where you're not really running that hard, eating 1.5 Lara bars in an hour or the equivalent, not that bad. Just do it while walking up a hill. But something I've done for 300 calories per hour is I will start the race with a 12-ounce handheld, and I'll put in something like a 200 to 300 calorie powder in there. And I'll sip on that for the first hour, and then I may or may not refill it. If I ditch it, I'll take from the aid stations, the hydration from the aid stations. Like Boston, tons of aid stations. So think about that. And then I'm just using the gels, the chews that I had with me for the rest of the run. Oh, let's rewind before I forget it. If you're getting post-run headaches after your runs, something that helped me is taking pre-run electrolytes. And when I'm running, I'm just kind of drinking to thirst. I'm just having it there so I can drink. But I experimented with electrolytes, different types of electrolytes before, during, and after, different amounts and types of hydration before, during, and after. And if I had runs, typically long or hard runs, where I would sweat a lot, I would get a headache that would start about an hour, 2 hours after my run, and it would last the entire day. And there were a few days where I woke up still with a headache. But I started experimenting and I found out that pre-run electrolytes solved these post-run headaches. Unless it's a race, I might still get the headache if it's a hot race. But eventually I'm like, oh, I'll just try salt, normal table salt. It does the same thing. No headaches. Tell your friends if they get headaches after runs. Now, after your runs, again, let's not complicate it. Just eat a bunch of food, okay? Just have some food. If you're not hungry after your long runs, which is a thing, have a smoothie or just like drink a protein shake because you might be thirsty. So just have the calories with some hydration, whether it's a smoothie, juice, protein shake, whatever. Okay, so we talked about fueling your longer, your harder runs, but how do you kind of format these in a week? So if you watch this video right here, it'll walk you through the 4-3-2-1 formula on how to structure and format your weeks of running.